They say that the content becomes the content creator, but I believe that the content creator becomes the content, which means that you'll have known something in theory, but when you actually package it into a video and put it out there for the audiences and people love it and people find meaning, you begin to really adopt those processes into your own life.
When you're a creator, and I know it's been 2 years for me on that path, but it's been far, I would say far richer and longer for you. What your audience, how they react, but also what they say, what they want, and their whole feelings, in many ways also pushes you into directions where you want to really help, for lack of a better term, solve their what's in their mind and kind of give them value for that. How much of that has motivated? I mean, which parts of that have from your audience that have really resounded with you and say, okay, this is something I need to put out there because I know people really need this right now. This is something I should really create and move with that.
I'll give you two perspectives. I don't know if I'll answer your question through the perspectives, but maybe you'll find the answer within this entire perspective. First is that they say that the content becomes the content creator, but I believe that the content creator becomes the content, which means that you'll have known something in theory, but when you actually package it into a video and put it out there for the audiences and people love it and people find meaning, you begin to really adopt those processes into your own life. So say if it's something like about mentality that I'm putting out. Say I've studied Virat Kohli and I've done this like in a very low phase of my life where I was feeling like giving up. I decided to study Virat Kohli in detail and make a content piece out of it. And I researched his interviews for like a month and I was burnt out as crap in that month. Like I had nothing left to give. I was just at work continuously for a year and I had no energy. But just researching about this dude for like a month gave me the motivation to carry on for another 3-4 months, after which I took a break and all that. But it kind of reignited me. And the audiences loved that particular video. And later on in my channel, I've spoken about that. I was actually going through a dark phase and that's why I created that piece of content. So definitely feel that the content creator becomes what they put out. That's the first perspective. Yeah. And the second thing is, dude, at the end of the day, YouTube or creation is also a startup. It's a business. Your consumer feedback comes from your comment section. So I scan that a lot. The moment you lose touch with your audience, your brand either plateaus or it dips. So you have to be very active about your consumer feedback. Like, for example, dude, and the thing is, because I do things outside of YouTube, sometimes I don't have the time to go through all comments of all videos. Plus, even in terms of YouTube, there's so many things that I'm doing. I'm doing podcasts, I'm doing a Hindi channel, I'm doing an English channel. Each of them have different pieces. I'm launching another channel which we've spoken about before. So there's so many things happening. Now, one of those holes is always slightly unplugged. And I always see, then you see the dips in the numbers. Then you go to that hole and like understand, okay, what's going wrong here. So we are concerned about, say for an English podcast, we're trying to get people like Sudha Murthy, people like, say, your Virat Kohlis of the world. And I'm building up towards that. And then I get to know from my audience, they want to see solo podcasts from me. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's what I've got to do. Then you put a solo podcast and the channel spikes back up. And YouTubing and creation is a constant recurring process just like that, where you see gaps, you study your consumer behavior, consumer requests, and you plug those holes.